So we are delighted to have our guest in the studio, Robert Biedroń, MEP from the New Left.
Good evening. Thank you very much for having me.
Mr.
Pleasure.
Mr. Biedroń, is it with today's announcement, is it done and dusted? Is Poland out of this sin bin of the pariah of European states? Will there be no more repercussions? Will we never speak of this again?
Well, you never know. Democracy should be never taken for granted. It's always an issue that you should take care of democracy. But indeed, we had serious troubles with rule of law in Poland, and I'm very happy that Poland is coming back to the European family of the states which respect human rights, rule of law and democracy. So it's a great day for today. The procedure on the Article 7 was introduced in 2017, so it's already a long time that we were struggling to come back on the tracks of rule of law, and there we are. The consequences of this article, applying this article by the European Commission, were very hard for Poland because, as you remember, the funds, the EU funds, were frozen for Poland. So besides having the legal problems that Poland government, the previous Polish government had in confrontation with European Commission, the most practical and the biggest trouble was that there were no EU funds coming for Poland because of this procedure. So there is a good news, and I think we will never come back to this anti-democratic, anti-rule of law and anti-human rights tracks.
Right. So what has the current government done to reverse the actions of the previous government and thereby stop these proceedings?
So the Minister of Justice has proposed months ago, directly after we took over the power in Poland as democratic forces, the Minister of Justice has introduced a roadmap of coming back to rule of law in our country. And this roadmap was presented to European Commission, step by step explained what are the plans of the current government to apply the needed legislative actions, including the acts in the parliament and in different institutions, to come back on the tracks of democracy. So this roadmap was accepted by European Commission, and today is the final decision that this roadmap gives the chance that the Polish government will implement the needed legislation which will come back to the situation from before 2015, when the independence of judiciary system, independence of the constitutional tribunal was respected.
Do you feel that the European Union was rather generous to us, given the fact that what was presented was a roadmap? We still have we still have the old judges reinstated to their position. We still have the old judges from the old regime. So do you feel that the European Union was generous in letting us, so to speak, off the hook just 8 days before the European elections?
It's not about the generosity of European Commission, because it's our Commission as well. We are part of European Union, and we are part of this big family which has agreed on some values. You must remember that this procedure was launched because of the branches of the values. So when there is a guarantee that the government respects certain values which are enshrined in the Treaty on the Functioning of European Union in Article 2, including rule of law besides others, then there is a chance that this government will follow the values will be followed by the concrete legislation proposed. And this is a case with the current government of Poland. You know, I'm a member of European Parliament, and I see clearly that this decision was very much not only awaited, but it also opened a lot of doors in many member states, that Poland is finally, after years of isolation, coming back to the table and able to negotiate important decisions, not only for Poland, but for European Union. So this hope and expectation is, of course, given us as, I don't know how the word you used, a chance, but it's also a guarantee, and it's also an obligation from our side that we will deliver. Delivering is an issue. You know, we live in a country where still the current president of the republic vetoes a lot of initiatives or announces vetoing a lot of decisions which are connected to coming back to the rule of law values. So this is a difficult situation, but this government is doing everything possible to enshrine the value of rule of law in the legislation.
But this is going to take some time to, as you say, implementation is going to be a challenge. There's no doubt about it, but it's also going to be time consuming. It may be enshrined in law now, but will it be implemented sufficiently by the next elections to actually make sure it stays enshrined in law?
Well, this is our common obligation. As we said at the beginning, democracy is not given forever. It's like a beautiful flower. You need to take care of a plant. You need to water it every day to take care, because otherwise it fades away, it dies. So this is about democracy. And Poland is the best example in the European Union. Well, you know, I remember times when we were the champions in democratic changes, in the democratic reforms. All the others, our neighbors in the east and in the south, were amazed by the reforms applied in Poland. And then in 2015, the new government has came and has reversed all of these policies. We were isolated on the international scene. The government has opened the open battle against European Union. So it's never given for granted. We should just take care of it, and Poland is one of the examples, the best examples of profiting of being part of this union, of European Union. We are just ahead of the coming elections to the European Parliament, and I would give hundreds of examples of how much Poland has profited of being part of European Union. I'm a former mayor of one of the Polish cities, and my city is unrecognizable because of the profits from European Union. If you go to Słupsk now and you come back 20 years ago, you would see two different cities. The progress we have made is tremendous. This is one of the reasons why we should play strong in European Union, but maintain in European Union.
Well, absolutely. But going back to something you said before about Poland being the wayward element in the European family, let's not forget there is that one country that's still the country that voted against the revoking of Article 7, and we're talking about Hungary. Now, Hungary is a country that's not only now the black sheep of the European community, but also a country that it's widely believed is open, rife to influence from abroad, from Putin, from Belarus. Now, given the scandal today in Belgium, what's your take on that? How deep do you feel involvement of foreign powers such as Russia is in Brussels right now?
Well, it's not Hungary. It's a great nation. I believe that Orban is a black sheep, and he's not only a black sheep of European Union. He is also, in my opinion, a Trojan horse of Putin in European Union. This is much more dangerous because you must remember that when all the European Union countries were doing everything possible to support Ukraine, it was Orban who who was blackmailing us with veto initiative to stop this initiative of helping Ukraine. So it's clear that he doesn't play in the same team as we all play, and this is very dangerous. And with the upcoming elections, you see clearly there are a lot of populist forces trying to reverse the course of European Union, trying to, through, of course, the Russian influence, disinformation, fake news, to somehow detonate us from inside. And this is very dangerous. This is a tendency which is very dangerous. The populism is rising, but what we should deliver as pro-Europeans is that we should keep our promises to deliver and solve everyday problems of the citizens in European Union. It's completely unacceptable that in many parts of European Union there is a high level of unemployment among young people, and those among young people will be influenced by populists if we don't deliver jobs, if we don't deliver housing, if we don't deliver the issues which are important for the future of many of these young people in member states. So these coming European elections are very important, whether we as a community, not only Poland but all the community, we will go west or we will go east. So fundamental for the future, not only of Europe, but the world elections. This 2024 is also exceptional, as you know. Never before, since democracy was established, in 1 year, so many nations, so many people are going to vote. We had Russia, which is undemocratic, but voted. India is voting now. US will vote. And the second democracy by population, European Union, will start vote next week. These results of all these votes will shape this globe for the, I believe, next generations.
Indeed it will. Indeed, all of these elections, we're all waiting with bated breath, Mr. Biedroń. And of course, migration is another issue that the EU needs to address. Unfortunately, we're going to have to end it there. Thank you very much for coming along and sharing your views with our audience. Have a good evening, sir.
Thank you.